Kemper, I'm begging you, please fix this. Okay guys, let's get right into it. So the other day I did a review of the new Kemper Player, and I stand behind everything I said about it. I think it's a great product, I really do. There's a lot of great effects in there, and you can find some great tones, and it's portable, and you can take it anywhere with you, and you know, yada yada yada, all that stuff. Great job on the product, and I think it's amazing. I love the effects that Kemper has, and let's face it, if it wasn't for Kemper, there wouldn't be amp profiling today by anybody. You know, I mean, they invented the whole thing, and I think that Chris Kemper has done a great job with it. And I tip my hat to Chris out of respect to him and all the work that he's done on that unit, and I think it's amazing. So I wanted to say all that to start things off in this video, because this is not a video where I bash the product or anything like that. I like my Kemper. I think it's a great unit, but it's not without its issues. And that's basically what this video is about today. And the absolute biggest issue that I have with the Kemper is what we're going to discuss today. And I've talked about this issue for quite a while on the channel, but it's basically reached a level with me where I have to finally do a video about this and express my concerns about it, and hopefully things will change very soon with the Kemper. So regarding that video that I did of the new Kemper Player the other day, I wanted to kick off a release of my new profile pack of my recently modded Badlander amplifier. As you may or may not know, the other day I did a video on how I use the Legendary Tones Mr. Scary mod for the Badlander and turned that thing into an absolute fire-breathing beast. And it sounds amazing. So after I did that video, a lot of people were like, are you going to profile that? And I'm like, of course I am. And what better way to time those profiles than with the video that I did of the Kemper Player. So the day before I did the video of the Kemper Player, I came down here and tried to do some profiles of the Badlander so that I can announce those profiles in that video. But I was left with nothing but frustration and disappointment after doing a session with the Kemper with the Badlander amplifier, and I will get to that in a minute here. I'll show you what I went through. So I spent a few hours down here trying everything to get this thing to profile the Badlander properly, and they all came out like absolute trash. I mean, they were muddy, goopy, flubby, tubby, and all the other 7 dwarves that you could think of. Sneezy, jokey, crappy, shitty. They all showed up to the party that day, and it sucked. And after a couple of hours down here, I just threw my hands up and said, forget it, I can't deal with this. And I actually profiled it a few days before that with my Quad Cortex, and they came out absolutely perfect, and I didn't have to do anything to make it happen other than line up the mics, hook everything up, and then push the button, and they all came out flawless. I mean, super, super good. And I was hoping to have the same experience with my Kemper, but it did not come out that good at all. I mean, they were just absolutely terrible. Now, before anybody starts commenting in the comment section about how I did it wrong and how I should have done it this way or that way, or I've never had any problems profiling amps with my Kemper, look, all you P&W guys that profile amps that are clean or just edge of breakup and stuff like that, I mean, don't bother commenting, because that's a completely different thing than doing high gain amplifiers. Now, regarding cleans and low gain tones and stuff like that and edge of breakup, the Kemper does an excellent job at that. And there are amps on my shelves here that the Kemper works with very well. I mean, the proof is basically go to my website and those profile packs are available. But I don't release profile packs of amplifiers that the Kemper does not profile well. And the issue that I have with the Kemper profiling algorithm is it's extremely finicky and very inconsistent. I mean, it's literally to the point right now where if I come down here and do profile packs with the Kemper, I come down here with the attitude of there's about a 50-50 chance that these profiles are actually going to come out the way I want them to. Now with the Quad Cortex and the ToneX, I never have that thought go through my head at all. Every time I come down here and work with either one of those products, the profiles come out absolutely perfect every single time. I've had very little to no issues at all with those products regarding profiling. They come out great every time with both of those units, and they're very consistent. There's no quirkiness, there's no amps that they don't work with or anything like that. It's just a very easy process with those units. But like I said, with the Kemper, it's literally a crapshoot these days when you're doing high gain tones. Okay, so now let's get to the profiling process with the Kemper and my modded Badlander amplifier, and I'm going to go through the whole process with you and show you the results that I got. The first time I did it the other night, the definition was 0.0. I mean, it was so muddy and shitty sounding, I could not believe how bad it sounded. And after doing several profiles, the best I got was, I think, 3.5 on the definition. It was still muddy and goopy. And I changed the settings on the amp. I turned the bass down, I turned the gain down. I did everything I could to try to change things so that the Kemper and the amp got along, but nothing I did fixed anything. And if there were any improvements at all when I made those changes on the amplifier, the profiles didn't really get much better, and they certainly did not get good enough for me to release the pack on my website, and that's very frustrating. And yes, I refined the profiles, in case people are wondering. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for years. So let's go ahead and fire up the amp now. I'm going to let you hear how it sounds before I profile it, and it sounds amazing, by the way. And I'm going to go ahead and profile this thing and show you what the results are after I do it. So here is the amp right now as it's set up with no overdrive in front of it. Sounds awesome. And again, there's no overdrive, so that mod really made this amp freaking amazing. So let's go ahead and profile it now and see what we come up with. I just finished profiling it, so now let's refine it really quick and see what we have. All right, so the first riff I'm going to play is the amp, and the second riff is going to be the profile. All right, it's a giant, muddy, goopy mess. So let's see what we have here. So definition, 1.8. Now, some of you are probably going to go, well, why don't you just turn the definition all the way up or turn it up further? Well, the thing is the further you turn up the definition, the worse the amp sounds. It gets really thin and raspy and crappy sounding. So that's not going to fix it. And honestly, it shouldn't be 1.8 on the definition anyways. This amp is really tight and aggressive now with that mod in it. And the Kemper is just not picking that up. It's interpreting this amplifier like it's a big goopy flubby mess, and I can't use this. I mean, I definitely can't sell this profile. I mean, it sounds like pure ass. So it's like, what do I do? And I can sit down here all day. I've already done it on 2 occasions, 2 2-hour sessions with this thing where I turn the knobs every which way but loose on this amplifier, and I have no idea what this thing needs to profile it properly. I mean, I can check the barometric pressure, I can wear my special pants, I can click my heels together and say, there's no place like home, for an hour and a half before I do the profiles, and it still isn't going to fix anything. So I don't understand what the problem is here. So I have a question for you. So how come I can take my Quad Cortex, put it right here, with the same exact mic, same cab, same amp settings, same everything, and do a capture of this amplifier and they come out absolutely perfect? How come I can do that with the ToneX and the Quad Cortex, but with the Kemper I can't? That's the issue that I'm having, and that's where the whole inconsistency thing comes in with the Kemper. Now, I could profile my EVH Stealth red channel, and it turns out great. Blue channel sounds like pure dog shit. I used to have, sitting right where the Friedman is, I used to have a EVH EL34100 amplifier, which is basically the twin sister of the Stealth. And I could profile my red channel on my Stealth, comes out perfect. Same settings, same everything on the EL34100, sounds like ass. Why is that a problem? I don't understand. And it really comes down to the algorithm that's in the Kemper. It needs to be updated. It needs that so bad because it's very inconsistent. Once again, on certain types of tones, it does a great job. On certain amplifiers, it does a great job. But on certain other amplifiers and certain other types of tones, such as high gain tones, it's very finicky and very inconsistent. And I'm at the point right now where I don't even want to do Kemper profiles anymore for my website until they fix this issue, because I'm tired of coming down here and wasting my time, pulling my hair out, kicking doors, and all the other crap that happens when I lose my temper every time I come down here and try to work with this freaking thing. Again, I think it's a great piece of gear, and it's revolutionized guitar tones, especially in the digital platform world. And I again, tip my hat to Chris Kemper for making such an amazing product. But like I said at the beginning of the video, it's not without its issues. And this thing's been around for, correct me if I'm wrong, at least 10 to 12 years, right? And the algorithm, if I'm not mistaken, has never been updated. And all these other products out there, like the Quad Cortex and the ToneX, are absolutely just passing this thing like it's standing still regarding the profiling aspect.
What the hell was that? They've gone to plaid. We passed them!
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And after all the time that this has been out on the market and all the updates and everything that it's had, why haven't they updated the algorithm? I mean, the updates have been great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we got the tablet app now where we can do the mobile app thing, and they've come out with newer products. I mean, the Kemper Stage is amazing. And, you know, all the effects, the reverbs, the delays, the overdrives, like, you know, lots of great effects to choose from. And I'm not faulting them with all that stuff. I think Kemper is one of the best units out there regarding effects and updates and stuff like that. They do a great job. But why haven't they updated the algorithm? Which, in my opinion, is the most important part of the unit itself. It's the heart and soul of the unit. After all, that's what it does. It profiles amps. But why are these new units coming out and just running roughshod over this thing regarding the profile aspect? I mean, I just don't understand why Christoph Kemper has not updated that algorithm yet. We don't need to do refining on the other units, but we have to do it on this. And even in this instance right now, refining has not saved the Badlander profiles at all. I mean, they sound like shit either way. And it's just completely useless to me when it comes to profiling amps like the Badlander or other amps that I have on my shelf that I can't make profiles for. Now, what I would like to see is Kemper to update the algorithm so that we can either not have to do the refining anymore, or at least to have the choice as to whether or not we want to do the refining. I mean, the algorithm should take care of the refining process for us, but again, I'll take having the choice over what we're dealing with right now. I'm tired, I'm sick and tired. Oh my God, am I sick and tired of the inconsistencies with this unit when it comes to profiling. Everything else, besides the interface, of course, is really good. I think it definitely needs a new interface as well. I mean, operating the interface on this thing is not fun, especially when you compare it to the Quad Cortex. I mean, the interface on that thing is amazing, but I'll give them credit. The Rig Manager app is awesome, and I typically use that anyways. So not a big deal, but if I had my choice right now over new interface or new algorithm, I'll take the new algorithm 8 days a week and twice on Sunday over that. It just needs to be updated, and I can't reiterate that enough. I can't make that point strong enough. Again, I've said it for years on the channel. I don't know why they haven't updated the algorithm. I just don't understand. I mean, if they did that, if they upgraded that algorithm and made it so that it was as good as the other units out there regarding profiling anyways, I mean, it would be a whole new resurgence for the Kemper. You know, I mean, there would be all kinds of creators doing comparisons between the old algorithm and the new algorithm and how much better the new algorithm is. They'd be releasing new Kemper packs, and all of the videos associated with all of that stuff would really be great marketing for Kemper, and it wouldn't cost them a dime. All of us creators would be doing videos about it and putting the word out, and even with our commercials regarding the new capture packs, it still shows that, yeah, it's better now and it does a better job. Our profile packs are better than they ever were, and go get them. And it's just, it's not going to cost them anything regarding all of that. We'll do all that stuff for them. So for all the people that are like, well, maybe that's because they're busy releasing new products like the player and they're probably working on some other stuff in the background. I get that, but like I said, updating the algorithm for profiling would be an awesome marketing thing for Kemper, because I just think it would just create this huge resurgence in the product and put it right out front again. Because again, it's amazing. The effects are awesome, and there's a lot of stuff out there in the ecosystem regarding profiles and stuff like that, and there's a lot of maturity with this product, and it's awesome. But the algorithm is definitely lacking, and I think it needs to be improved. So now, for the sake of comparison, let's do a capture of the Badlander, same settings, same mic, same everything, with the Quad Cortex, and I will prove to you that it's superior when it comes to how it does the capture process, or the profiling process, whatever you want to call it. It's way more consistent, and in my opinion, the accuracy on that unit is better as well. All right, so I have the Quad Cortex all hooked up here, and I'm just going to do a quick level check and make sure the levels are good, but all the other settings are exactly the same. You just have to check the input level to make sure it's not clipping. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll shoot the capture on this and see how it turns out, and then we'll shoot this capture out against the Kemper profile. All right, we're good to go. Let's shoot the capture. Okay, so now let's compare the capture that I did on the Quad Cortex to the actual amplifier, starting with the amplifier. And here's the Quad Cortex capture. See what I mean? Sounds perfect. That was the first attempt. I didn't have to do any other attempts. And here's the other thing. I can have the amp set up any way I want, and it's not going to screw up how the Quad Cortex captures it. You know, so I just think that it's a much better unit to work with, at least coming from my standpoint, you know, someone who makes captures for a living and sells them on the website. This thing is just easier to work with, very consistent and very accurate, and that's what I'm hoping that the Kemper will finally fix with their unit. And I've been bitching about this for at least 3 years now, and I wish they would fix that. And here's the other thing I have to say before anybody comes on here and says, oh, if you just did this or if you just did that, it would fix it. I mean, maybe throwing an EQ in the loop on the Badlander would help the Kemper profile it better, or doing it this way or doing it that way. First of all, I'm not going to throw the EQ in a loop on any amplifier to capture it, and because basically I just changed the whole integrity of the amplifier, and I'm not capturing the actual amplifier anymore. And secondly, why should I have to even do that anyways when I don't have to do that with the Quad Cortex or the ToneX when I capture amplifiers? I don't have to do all these stupid little tricks and all these little things to make it work properly. It should just work. That's what it's for. That's what algorithms do. They work. And if they don't work, they need to be updated and fixed and tweaked. And that's, again, for the 8 billionth time in this video, is what I really hope Kemper does with their unit, because it definitely needs to be done. Now, I'm probably the only guy saying this out there, because maybe I don't care if I get a Christmas card from Kemper or not, or if I'm on their naughty or good list or whatever. I don't give a shit about that. I'm here to just give you my honest thoughts and opinions, and basically in this case facts about gear that I demo on the channel. And I want the gear to be the best that it can be for myself and for you guys and for the companies that are making it and selling it to you guys. I'm a consumer advocate channel first. I love gear and I love all the gear manufacturers, and I think they all make great stuff. but I'm also here to point out the issues so that hopefully they'll be addressed so that we'll all have a better experience with the gear, including the people who make it. Because the better their product is, the more of that they will sell to people, and everybody has a good experience with the whole thing. Now let's compare the Kemper profile against the Quad Cortex capture and see how different they are. So I think the difference there was obvious. The Kemper profile was muddy and goopy and just shitty. It almost sounded like I had the tone knob rolled all the way down on my guitar when I was playing through it, but that obviously wasn't the case. It just didn't capture the amp properly. You know, so for those of you who are wondering why I haven't released a lot of stuff on my website regarding Kemper profiles lately, this is why. I'm sick of coming down here and wasting my time half the time to come out with something that's good. And I'm not going to do all these stupid tricks to make it work because I shouldn't have to, number one. And number two, I'm not going to change the integrity of that amplifier so that the Kemper profiler can profile it properly and then sell those on my website knowing full well that you're not getting the actual authentic sound of the amplifier. That's not something I do here. So anyways, with respect, I'm just asking Kemper to please fix this issue and update and upgrade the algorithm regarding profiling. Everything else about the unit is amazing, but the algorithm, which is basically the heart and soul of that unit, is suffering right now and needs to be fixed. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got something out of it, and if you could share this with Kemper, I would really appreciate it very much. I respect Chris Kemper. I respect what he's done for the industry. He's done an amazing job, and he makes some great products, and I can't do what he does. If you put me in his shoes and asked me to do his job, I wouldn't know the first thing about it. All I'm saying is from a consumer's standpoint and from someone's standpoint, like I said, who makes profiles for their website and has a lot of experience doing that for the last 3 or 4 years, I think that these changes need to be made, and with respect, I just kindly ask that they do that. And I think that if they did, there would be a huge resurgence in Kemper products, and I think a lot of us would be talking about it. So I really hope that this gets addressed soon. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. And to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers, thank you guys so much. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with another episode. I got a lot more stuff coming up for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.